This is my video explanation for Homework 5 photovoltaic cell characteristics. I start first by defining my four figures, and I need four figures because I need a PV and IV characteristic for a constant temperature and a PV and IV characteristic for a constant irradiance. This is just to help define those four figures. Afterwards, I define what my temperature and irradiance is going to be. Then, these values are sent into the Simulink file, which is here, and they are put into the irradiance and temperature, respectively. These go into the photovoltaic cell, where it calculates voltage and current. These are sent back into MATLAB via these outputs here and here, which are used to calculate power, and are also used to graph. For the PV characteristic, I plot voltage and power, and for the IV characteristic, I plot voltage and current. Now, to plot the MPP value, I have to find the maximum point of the power of the PV characteristic, which is saved here. But I also need to know its index. Using its index, I can plot the MPP points on the IV characteristic here. And I did this for a constant temperature, but I varied the irradiance. Here, irradiance of 750, irradiance of 500, irradiance of 250. Afterwards, I fix the figures by adding titles and adding legends, and then I begin the constant irradiance and a varying temperature tests, where my irradiance is the constant, but I am using a temperature of 55, temperature of 30, temperature of 15, and a temperature of 0. And this works much the same way, where after these two are defined, these are sent to the Simulink file. I take a voltage and current output, calculate power, plot PV, plot IV, and repeat that simulation here, repeat that simulation for every single trial. Afterwards, I add titles and I fix the legends for this part of the assignment. If I run it, I output four figures, which should show up shortly. Figure 4, Figure 3, Figure 2, and Figure 1. We can notice that Figure 1 is the IV characteristic with constant temperature. Figure 2 is the PV characteristic with constant temperature. Figure 3 is the IV characteristic with constant irradiance. And Figure 4 is the PV characteristic with constant irradiance. This simulation is applicable in the situations where we want to test the PV array. For this assignment, we were asked to use specifically a SunPower SPR X20 250 black. However, we can do this for any solar panel. And this helps us to compare their PV and IV characteristics to choose one that is appropriate for the job we need, or to find the most efficient one in any specific case. And that is my explanation of my Homework 5 photovoltaic cell characteristics.